Hello and welcome to Embracing Extraordinary podcast. I'm Deidre.
And I'm Jodie, and we're here to create a space for you to explore, expand, and embrace that extraordinary exists, is possible, and how extraordinary you truly are.
To hug, hold, accept, and embrace it to create your most extraordinary life. Welcome back to the Embracing Extraordinary podcast. Today's episode, we're continuing on from last week, where we're taking a bit of a deeper look into who we are and what makes us tick. So today, I'm actually going to be interviewing Jodie, which I can't wait because I'm sure there's going to be lots of great insights that come out of this amazing conversation. So welcome, Jodie.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so are you ready to get started?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Let's
So
go.
we're going to start first of all with some of our rapid fire questions. So these are a little bit more personal, a little bit lighter, and a little bit of fun. So to start off with, Jodie, where did you grow up?
I grew up on the Mornington Peninsula in Melbourne, which is by the beach, and funnily enough, it's where I live now, but I've traveled and lived in many different parts in Australia. But yeah, that's where I grew up.
Beautiful. So what was your favorite subject in school?
This is no surprise.
Good.
Art. Definitely art, drawing, art, all the way.
Yeah, I thought that may be the case.
Hmm.
What is your star sign?
I'm a Scorpio. Yep.
Mm,
Scorpio girl, very passionate, very loyal.
okay. How many siblings do you have and what number are you? I know we're very similar here.
Yeah, we're
Right?
so similar. I'm one of five as well, and I'm number two, oldest
Okay.
girl, number two.
Yeah, exactly the same as me.
Yeah, which is so interesting, isn't it?
So interesting.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite color and what does that say about you?
I find this a tricky question to answer as well because I love color. However, if I have to choose one, it'd be green. Green is the color of life for me. It's nature, it's life, it's energizing. I love so many different shades of green.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would definitely be green.
Do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Both. And I learnt from you when you answered this question that it was a whole different word around those, but I am definitely on both. I can be
Mm,
very social. I love being around people and, having conversations, but I crave that time alone to recharge. I really need that as well. So definitely both. I need those introverted times and those reflection times and quiet
mm,
times. It's literally
yeah.
like plugging myself into a charger when I
Yeah.
do that. But I wouldn't want to live always like that. I definitely
Yeah.
love being around people as well. I wouldn't say I'm an extrovert in terms of I ever need to really be the center of attention, but it's something that I'm working on embracing that it's okay to have attention on me
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, both.
Yeah. Yeah. I know once someone said to me, it's how we get our energy.
Mm.
And that's how I look at it.
Yeah,
Because I
right.
get my energy from being around people, but I also
Hmm.
get my energy from being alone and taking that time to recharge and, reflect. So,
Yeah, that's a
um,
really nice way to think about it too, because
yeah, I really liked it.
it's isolating if you're on by yourself all the time, but it's definitely recharging. But so is being around people,
Mm,
that can be
mm,
really beautiful as well. The environment.
absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely.
mm.
Do you sing in the car? And do you keep singing or stop singing at the traffic lights?
So funny. I definitely sing in the car and I do sing at the traffic lights. It depends on my mood. If I'm really in it and I'm really singing and in flow and having a good time, I will definitely keep singing at the traffic
Mhm.
lights. Sometimes I will stop at the traffic light. So it depends sort of how much I'm singing and what I'm into. But singing in the car is one of my favorite things to do. It's so freeing there.
It
And,
is.
I do it with my kids as well. We have a great time singing in the car.
Well, at least your kids don't tell you to be quiet.
They don't. They don't. It's something really fun that we do in the car. I love it.
Mm.
Yeah.
What's your go-to guilty pleasure snack?
Oh, at the moment, it's a Snickers slice from one of the cafes near my house. It's a raw, healthy
Yum.
version of a snack. I haven't eaten processed sugar for a very long time, so that's my really beautiful little treat at the moment, and it's so yummy.
Yeah. Just remind me, I used to make lots of little good, raw snacks like that, but I haven't in a long time.
Oh, they're so delicious.
If you could have dinner with any person, living or dead, who would it be?
Oh, this might sound a little bit corny, but it's with my kids and my husband. They're my favorite people that I get to share life with every day. And every day, honestly, I'm grateful for those moments, especially because we're busy. The kids are
Mm,
doing lots of things after school and, we're busy and it's quite a special, sacred time for us, those moments that
mm.
we actually get to share. And it's not lost on me. Like I appreciate it every day.
Yeah, I think that's something that's really, really beautiful is to sit down at the dinner table and have dinner as a family. So
Mm,
I love that. Absolutely
mm,
love that. Yeah,
mm.
that's one thing that we do. And now we have one less person at our table with
Yeah.
Jesse moving to Sydney. So it's still, yeah, still getting used to that.
Yeah, pursuing his dreams and talents. Mm, mm.
Yeah, but dinner's a little bit quieter now. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
When I think about what I wanted to be as a kid, it's funny because it was a hairdresser and an artist and a
Wow.
teacher, funnily enough. Listening to you, I remembered there was a time that I dreamt about being a primary school teacher,
Yep.
but definitely an artist and definitely a hairdresser. And it's funny because I
Wow.
feel like in some ways I've kind of combined all
Mm,
three, and
mm,
definitely education lights me up. And I bring a lot of art into my work as well, the creative
mm.
piece. And I mean, hairdressing, that opened this whole world up for me. So that
Yeah.
was, getting the creativity and all of that going as well, which was amazing and helping people
Mm.
feel good. So yeah, it's interesting looking back because those three things, they sort of have definitely, I can see them in my life right now.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Mm.
so interesting. Whereas for me, I never ever wanted to be a hairdresser. That was the only thing I didn't want to do.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I thought I wanted to do it, and I did it for work experience in year 10. And I'm like, oh no, I'm never going to do that. And that's when I got really into art and design and went on to study after high school. And I had this niggling thing, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Anyway, I did it, and the rest is history. But yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. What's your favorite way to spend a day off?
Depends on the day off. I love meditation always. I love to meditate. I love to go to the beach. I love a bit of chill out time, actually. Life's pretty full, it's pretty busy. And so days off to me, I just love, I don't know, things that are a bit joyful and a bit relaxing and a bit
Mm,
fun at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Near the water. Near the water. I really love living in Australia. I very much appreciate living in Australia. And I've lived in various parts of Australia. Most of it has always been near the water. I
Yeah.
need to be near the sea. It does something for me. I feel different when I'm not near the sea. And so wherever it is, it's one near the water and also with the people I love because they're my home. That's what helps me feel home.
You live
Mm.
in a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, I do.
If you could speak to any sports player in history, who would you choose?
I think it'd be David Beckham.
Ah, yes.
I'd love to have a chat with him.
Yeah.
His documentary just I found so incredibly inspiring. His resilience and his courage and his drive, all of it, I find him incredibly inspiring. His sense of family, his normalness with the veggie garden and all of that. I think it'd be really quite amazing to get to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse would join you with on that
Yeah.
conversation as well.
Oh, it was such a fantastic documentary.
Mm.
Yeah, it was amazing. Mm.
Fiction or non-fiction books?
Both. I'm so immersed in nonfiction that I love. I'm almost a little bit obsessed with it, really learning about human potential and mind, body, and health and all of that. But I do think fiction's important too, to sort of, have a little bit of the nonsense, even like, just something that's not all about learning and getting a little bit lost in that. I'm sure it would be beneficial to me if I brought a little bit more fiction into my reading at the
Yeah.
moment. Often I've got a few books on the go, depending on what they are. And so a little bit of fun fiction, I think is really good to bring into that.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Mm.
What's one book, movie, or podcast you'd recommend to listeners?
Becoming Supernatural
Mm.
by Dr. Joe is brilliant. I read a book last year. It's The House That Joy Built. That
Right.
one's really beautiful too. It's such a beautiful book around you are the house. Like our body is the house and the house. So the you that you can tap into through joy. It's really beautiful. And Dr. Joe's one's amazing because it's life-changing, understanding the real science and the energy of the human. So I
Mm.
love that as well. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm.
If you had to describe yourself as an animal, which would it be?
Oh, it's so funny because you said lioness, and I really relate to lioness as well for the same reasons. Fiercely loyal, protective, and all of those kinds of things. But I also, someone described me as a chocolate Labrador recently,
Oh,
and I kind of relate to that a little bit as well because that's more my
mm,
sweet, cuddly side. So,
yeah.
yeah,
But they're just so beautiful
yeah,
and gentle and kind and yeah,
yeah.
that's
I
that's you
found.
too.
Oh, thank you. I definitely found it as a compliment. And I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of see that as well. But the fiercer, loyal, courageous part, I definitely identify with the lioness. I'm not the lioness all the time though. So I probably do sort of
Both.
move between a little bit to the softness of the Labrador and the fierceness of the lioness. So depending
Mm,
on what's going on.
love that. Beautiful. Okay, so let's move into some of the would you rather
Ooh, okay.
questions. Yes. So, would you rather have unlimited time or unlimited money?
Or time, I think, because if I've got the time, I can make the money. But then if I've got the money, it frees up time. But I
Yeah, I
think
know.
I think I really had to feel into that one and try and answer with my heart, not my head.
Mm. I know it's
But
a
if the
tricky
mo
one, isn't it?
it is really a tricky one because
Mm.
I think they work together
Yeah,
because
correct. They're
having the
intertwined.
resources and the money, then that frees up a lot of time as well. So I don't know how to answer that one entirely, but time just maybe
Mm.
slightly.
Yeah,
How I use that time is important as well.
correct. Would you rather speak every language or talk to animals?
I'm the same as you with this one. I'd like to talk to animals. I'd love to know what animals thinking. We've got a beautiful puppy dog ourselves, and so many times she pulls so many funny faces, and we often go, I wonder what she's thinking. If she could talk, what she'd be saying. I think it would be really interesting to be able to talk to the animals, Dr. Dolittle style, and
Yes.
understand what the animals think and what they're saying, because I too think they've got a lot of wisdom and also that beautiful innocence with some animals, especially dogs. Like they're so beautiful and they're so loving in their nature. I think it'd be really beautiful to know what some of them think.
Love that answer. Love it.
Mm.
Would you rather the beach or the forest? I think this is a no-brainer for you.
I'm definitely a beach girl all the way. Beach, 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 water, water, water. However, the older I get, I definitely love nature more, the forest more, and I feel like, a little bit of the nature fairy as well. So both. If I had to choose, I would choose the beach first, but I think they're both really, really important to me now. And ideally, I'd love to be in the forest by the beach.
I know. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect scenario. Would you rather the sweet or savory?
These days, savory. Most of my life, probably sweet. I was a big sweet too, but definitely foods that nourish me. I choose nourish over any of it now, whether it's sweet or savory. Yeah.
Beautiful. Would you rather work with your dream mentor for a year or get $1 million to start your dream business?
Definitely dream mentor. I don't even have to
Yeah.
think about that one
Yeah.
because working with a dream mentor, I know would help me with all of the personal, professional expansion that I need to be able to bring in the cash anyway. The money
Yeah.
would be amazing as well, but I would choose the dream person first because that's going to help me as a human to be able to do the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. And I think you'd learn the skills to be able to continuously earn millions.
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
Would you rather have endless creativity or endless energy?
This is a tricky one.
Mm.
For me, energy, but creativity gives me energy.
Mm.
So, energy, life force, all of that. But when I'm feeling energetic and I'm feeling in flow and I have all this beautiful life force, then that is my doors to creativity as well, and
Yeah.
vice versa. When I'm being creative, it's almost like time stands still for me. And I know that that's when I'm really vibrant and I get really excited and energized. So I find those two actually quite different to separate because they're
Mm.
almost one in the same for me.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah,
Mm.
that was the same. I found the same. Yeah.
Mm. A life without creativity is more bland for me. I think creativity is what we're all about as humans, though. And
Mm.
creativity doesn't need to be arty either.
No,
Creativity is just how are you using your creative forces as a human being? Because we're creating all the
absolutely.
time. And it's all
Yeah.
energy. Creativity is energy.
Gee,
So,
that's exactly right. So that's where I think they're very intertwined there. And I could not, yeah, imagine a life without creativity. Because for
yeah.
me, it's just in the morning, what am I going to wear today? That's just bringing in that sense of creativity as well. Beautiful. Okay. Would you rather be famous for something you don't care about or unknown but respected in your passion?
Definitely unknown and respected in my passion. I don't really have desires to be famous, but definitely respected and also impactful, helping to make a difference.
Beautiful. Would you rather live in a treehouse or a houseboat?
It was funny because I love the water so much, but I'd actually choose a treehouse. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing to live in a treehouse surrounded by beautiful flowers and trees and nature, and that would be amazing. I'd like to be able to see the sea as well.
Mm.
Treehouse by the sea, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll have one too.
yeah.
Would you rather skydive once or swim with sharks once?
I'd choose skydive for this one, D.
Would you?
It's been on my bucket list for a long time. I'd like to think
Oh,
I will be able to tell stories about the fact that I do it one day, but I would choose skydiving for sure. I just imagine that feeling so free.
yeah, yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Mm.
Would you rather work harder for a guaranteed result or take a risk for something bigger?
This very much depends on my state. If I'm feeling good and I'm feeling safe, I would choose the take a risk for something bigger every time. If I'm a little bit more in my head and feeling nervous, sometimes I'd want the little bit more of the guaranteed result and the known. But when the entrepreneurial spirit comes out in me and the dreamer comes out in me, and I believe in all the possibility, definitely the risk for something bigger. But you and I both know that often that will bring up the parts of you that are also really scared and not in
Yeah,
congruence with that. So sometimes I need to be more mindful about, well, how risky is that really? Sometimes I choose the known as well.
beautiful. So, thank you for those. So, let's
You're welcome.
dive into the jar of secrets now and see what comes up. So, what's one thing people would be surprised to learn about you?
Oh, it's so funny. Well, it depends how well you know me. I love a good rom-com movie. I love corny movies. I'm a little bit of a twihard. I was a late bloomer with the Twilight series, but yeah, I
Ah,
love those movies. They were really fun. I think I love the love stories
yeah.
and the corniness and 80s music. I love it. I love a good I love a good boogie of the 80s music. Yeah.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
Oh, I don't know if this is the most embarrassing, but this is certainly something that was embarrassing, and it's probably more funny than anything now. When I was 18 or 19, I was doing my apprenticeship. I had the day off and I thought it would be a really good idea to apply some fake tan. And, and I had this fake tan. It actually looked really nice. I just did a couple of coats and it was really nice. But sometimes I need to go a little bit extreme. And so I heard about the fact that you can get this spray tan. So I remember getting in the car and going to the shops and bought this spray tan. And I sprayed it on. And it was so wet it wouldn't dry. So I was drying it with the hairdryer and everything. And I remember going to bed and saying to my family, I'm going to be so brown in the morning. Anyway, I get up and we come out of our bedrooms in the morning and I was just so orange. My mum found it so hilarious. And so this fake tan, it was so thick, D, that it peeled. I went to work and everyone was laughing. They were hanging jokes all day. I tried scouring it off. It was so thick that in some places it peeled. So it was funny, but it was also embarrassing. And needless to say, I don't use it anymore, fake tan anyway, but I was very careful with it after that.
That is funny.
It was
That is.
funny.
What's a
Mm.
habit you're working on improving?
Oh, so many. Listening,
Hmm.
really listening to myself, but also listening to others. I think it's a really sacred thing to be able to let someone complete their sentences without me jumping in with, or, you get excited and think about what I want to say. It's something that I'm really working on because I heard Peter Crone say it one day that listening shows somebody how valuable they really are. It's something really beautiful that you can do to show somebody that you value their presence. And so
Mm,
that's something that I'm really, really working on. And also trust, like that
mm.
self-trust, that deep inner listening and trusting my heart, the universe, and my own self, and trusting life. They're
Yeah.
things that I'm really, really working on.
Yeah, love that listening and trust. And I've always said this. I think listening is like it's a skill that we're not taught
I
how to
agree.
do because there's a difference between listening and hearing.
Yeah.
And we're not taught how to deeply and truly listen to somebody. Yeah, would love that to be taught in school
Mm.
as a skill. Mm,
Yeah. And you can listen to somebody, you don't have to always agree with them, but listening to somebody just gives somebody airspace as well. And it also gives you time to just be respectful. And
absolutely.
yeah, I think it's a skill. I agree.
Yeah, and I think it really shows people that they're heard and they're valued and that they matter.
Hmm.
Um, I
Yeah.
think it's so disrespectful when
Mm.
people don't listen, and I think every single person on the planet can improve their ability to listen.
I agree. I would have thought that I was a good listener,
Mm,
and in a lot of ways I am a good listener, but there's still so many areas for improvement. I notice it in the daily now where I just need to pause and give somebody else the airtime. It's
mm,
particularly parenting.
I love
Mm,
that.
mm,
Thank you.
mm.
Let's move on to understand and highlight some of your values, Jodes. So, to start with, what's one way that I have impacted your life for the better?
Oh, Deidre, so many, honey. Meeting you, and this might sound really mushy, it was instrumental in helping me dare to dream.
Mm,
You provided a space for me all those years ago when we started working together to talk about the value of dreaming and all of that. But also, you provide a really safe space for me to be myself. Right from the get-go, I've been able to discuss outlandish ideas or little ideas, whether they be simple and structural or really creative and really out there. Working with you, I feel like I have this beautiful soul connection where I can dream and be myself, and all of that's okay. I value you and I value that so much. And you said it in your own interview questions. I
mm,
think it's a really beautiful superpower that you have. You can see people and you can see potential, you can see beauty, you can see integrity. And I really value that about you. And it's impacted my life so much for the better.
mm. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, when I met you, I saw so much, you so much. And that's why I love, being able to offer people opportunities. Yeah, I saw so much there that you had to offer. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. I'm
Thank
so grateful you did. I know in Soul World, it was obviously happened way back then, even why that we're here today,
mm,
that connection. But yeah, it's something really special. So thank you.
thank you. So how do you inspire each other of, us to be our best selves?
Exactly that. I think
Mm,
something we do really beautiful for each other is honesty. I
mm,
think there's a really beautiful trust and integrity and honesty between us, even sometimes when conversations aren't easy. It doesn't have to be a pleasing conversation that we agree. Like we're allowed to actually not agree,
mm,
but it's really trusting and it's really safe. And that's super inspiring for me because it helps me be myself. But the other thing that's super inspiring about you, Dee, is the dreaming. Like I just said before, you provide space to dream, but also your commitment to learning
mm.
and just being a really beautiful human, I find super inspiring all the time.
Thank you. And it's
Mm.
so important, the people that we surround ourselves with. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
What does wellness as currency mean to you?
Oh, this is the goodie. Wellness is health and health is wealth. So, like you touched on, currency is what have we got to spend? What have we got to exchange? And for me, wellness is where we build our life force, it's where we build our physical health. And without that, then how do you have any energy, life force to give to anything else?
Mm.
So, that's why the foundation of the way I live life now, but also in business, it's wellness first, because I really believe that's the currency that we have to be able to have anything.
Mm.
Yeah. And there's so many different ways to be well as well. Wellness is a very broad term. There's physical wellness, there's emotional wellness, relationship wellness, financial wellness.
Mm.
There's so many different ways to be well, and they all influence each other. But there's your currency, it's what
Yeah.
you've got to exchange. And I think I appreciate that much more getting older,
Mm.
way more than I would have appreciated when I was younger. Like
Yeah.
this body, that, for a lot of the times I really didn't appreciate, but I'm learning to appreciate more and more and more and more and more, because it's the vehicle that I have to experience life. So I must look after her and
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. I love that. So important. Did you always want to be a coach, mentor, educator, entrepreneur?
When I was younger, I don't know that I would have even known what those things are. I don't think I ever thought I want to grow up and do that, but I definitely have always been in that space where I'm a dreamer and
Mm.
a creator. I've always been creative and I've always loved helping people. So it's a natural flow on of that, just my nature, who I am as a human. Now it lights me up. This space is exactly where I want to be. It's all part of the path leading me here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hold such a beautiful, nurturing space for people to,
Thank you.
experience life in. And that's why I feel so grateful that I have you in my corner.
Yeah, thank you. And likewise.
What prompted you to start your business and what keeps you going with it?
Becoming a mother prompted me to become an entrepreneur, because spending time being there around my kids and being able to do business while
Mm.
parenting was really important to me. Also, my own personal challenges and the line of work that we're in now, the things that helped me were like, oh my goodness, I want everyone to know this stuff's available. The turning point for me, really moving in this line of work and the whole education, wellness, health, entrepreneurial space was definitely when I became a mama.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
it drives me, it keeps me going, because I want to help create a more beautiful world for us, for them, for the children of future generations, and help move humanity forward so that for generations to come, that people are tapped into their magic and their power, and they know literally how wonderful and remarkable and extraordinary they are to create their most beautiful lives. And I am a dreamer, but I believe it's possible. And that's what keeps driving me. Those days where I'm a little bit more tired, or I get discouraged or whatever, and I come back to my heart and I come back to my why. That's why.
Mm. That's really beautiful. Love that.
Mhm.
What character traits do you most respect in other people?
Honesty,
Yeah.
integrity, kindness, courage.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. I love a beautiful, true, kind relationships. And I really respect people that can do that and be really courageous at the same time. Or I
Mm.
really respect people that can have the courage to stand up for themselves, go for their dreams, go for what they believe in, but also do it with kindness and integrity at the same time.
Love that. Yeah. How are you different than your old self last year?
Oh, I feel like I'm so a different human in some
Mm.
ways to me of a few years ago. Yes, a year ago, but definitely a few years ago. I'm same, but different. I look similar, but I also look different. And the way I operate and actually how I view life is really, I think, quite different. How am I different? What's the word? I don't know another word to describe it, but humble. Not humble in a can't be amazing way, humble, respectful. That we're all different, each unique, and we've all got something really to offer. And the way that I tick is really quite different around that. And also self reflection. Now, when anything happens, I'm so much more connected to soul and human that I can look at things and go, well, okay, this might be amazing, or even this might not be amazing. If it's happening, what's my soul looking for? What's the expansion
Mm,
my soul's looking for? I
yeah.
didn't used to operate like that. I now can see the human and the soul connection way more. And if I can't see it in the moment, I've learned to really, really reflect on that.
Yeah. And I think that's so important. And that's definitely become a big focus for me as well, because as you know, there's been so much going on. So that ability to take that pause and
Yeah.
reflect and look at it from that human level and then also that soul level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that is really beautiful because your life's happening for us, not to us.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Beautiful.
Mm.
What's the best compliment you have ever received?
Probably energy. I've had some beautiful people say to me, being in my presence makes a difference. And that's a really, really beautiful compliment to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank
If you could give your 18-year-old self some advice, what would you say?
you. Oh, so much.
I know.
Um, I would definitely say remember love. Love, love, love. Love is the medicine that will heal the world. Always love for you. Like remembering that love is the force. When people are in love and being love and feeling love, that's where I believe that we bring out the best in each other. And I would also love to tell my 18-year-old self about multi-dimensional living and that
Mm,
she's a multi-dimensional being and learn about each one of them.
yeah.
Learn about her physical self, learn about her mental, emotional self, her spiritual soul self, and the energetics, because they are the instrumental things that I've learned getting older, that I believe that that's what we are. It's who and
Yeah.
what we are. We're not just this physical being. And to know that at a younger age and really learn about that stuff would be so amazing. And it makes me excited about the younger generations these days because
Mhm.
this information is much more available now and people are growing up knowing this stuff. And I think it's really beautiful. But I would love to tell younger Jodie that stuff and that to just tell her that I love her and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for where she's been to help me be who I am right now.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, no,
Oh, thank you. That's
thank you.
absolutely beautiful. What are you learning about right now that is lighting you up?
That stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So powerful. Like it's just
Human potential,
completely
energy, the
changes.
body. Yeah, it's a game changer. The whole multidimensional self, multidimensional living, who we are, what we are as human beings. Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more, because I just find it so incredible. Because when we learn more about how we tick as a human beings, then it's the most liberating, empowering stuff. Yeah, so that is what lights me up all the time and sharing it. Some of the conversations I have at home with my husband and my children, and bless them because they give me the airspace, but it's so beautiful to be able to share it. So, and learn
I
it.
know. I know.
Mm.
This is stuff that should be taught in school.
Yeah.
Oh, same as listening, how to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Imagine it. Yeah.
And love and the power of love. And I know
Oh,
that sounds super corny, but love.
yeah. When do you feel the most free?
When I'm in water, I love a good float at the beach. It's
Mm,
so beautiful. Also, when I'm in meditation and when I'm laughing, I find that really freeing. So, laughing with the people I love.
yeah. Laughing's so good. I think laughing's underrated.
Oh, same.
So good. So good.
Mm.
Thank you, Jodie. Those are so insightful. And I even learned some stuff about you as
Yeah.
well, but such beautiful, like you always give such beautiful, reflective, deep
Oh,
answers to questions. So thank you.
oh,
So
thank you.
now in closing out our last question, which is what we will be asking to all of our guests for future, what does embracing extraordinary mean to you?
Oh, I love this. To me, it's embracing that extraordinary exists, that
Mm,
remarkable is possible, and that how beautiful life really is. Like embracing just being able to hold it close and really appreciate this beautiful,
mm.
extraordinary life. Mm.
Love that. There's always so much value in what you have to share and offer. So
Thank
thank
you,
you.
beautiful.
Thank you, Jodie, for sharing. So much insights come out of that and a few laughs and a few things that I didn't realize as well. So thank you for being open and sharing your thoughts with myself today. So thank you for listening today. Hopefully you've learned a little bit more about myself and Jodie. and what we're about, what our likes are, what makes us tick, and what we value as human beings. So thank you. Any final words, Jodie?
Oh, thank you, honey. It was so lovely to get to know you a little bit more through these questions as well. Also, thank you for interviewing me, giving me some airspace and some time as well, and all your beautiful, lovely reflections. And also to our gorgeous listeners, that's a little bit more about who we are, what we're about. And if any of that stuff resonates with you, then come along, let's continue the journey, because we've got lots more beautiful conversations to share with you. And we've got a beautiful guest coming up soon that we're super excited to share with you. So, yeah, thank you and lots of love.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks so much for joining us. We hope this conversation has inspired you to start to explore, expand, and embrace that extraordinary exists, is possible, and how extraordinary you truly are.
If you loved this conversation, we would be so grateful for you to share it with the people in your world who you think might love to hear it. Please leave a review to help us reach more extraordinary people like you and turn these ripples into waves.
Until next time, remember, you're extraordinary. Dare to embrace it.